The world marked the International Women's Day this past week, but hundreds of women in Nigeria were not celebrating. Instead, they were out on the streets protesting, angered by the country's lawmakers who rejected 5 changes to the constitution that were intended to promote gender equality. From Abuja, our correspondent Amaka Okoye sent us this report.
They are determined to be heard. These Nigerian women say the country's laws are discriminatory and they want change. But standing in their way are their predominantly male legislators.
It's ludicrous that we're still having to have this discussion. Okay, it's ludicrous that we're having this debate. It's ludicrous that we are still protesting for our rights. It's ludicrous that the Nigerian National Assembly, which is dominated by men, do not seem to appreciate, or no, let me put it clearly, they have disdain for the women of Nigeria.
We are normalizing a male-dominated constitution, and all these things are why we are here today.
Nigerian women are in chain. Nigerian women are in chain. We cannot speak out. We are not part of the decision making. We have a male parliament.
On the 1st of March, Nigeria's lawmakers at the National Assembly voted against bills and laws that will represent the Nigerian women. Some of those include denying citizenship to a Nigerian woman's foreign husband and denying a Nigerian woman indigenship in her husband's state, and lots more. Today, they are gathered here to say this is enough and it's time for all of this to change.
Nigeria's legislators voted on 68 amendments to the constitution. Among these, 5 bills were focused on promoting gender equality in politics, governance, and the society. All 5 were rejected. The bills deny citizenship to the foreign-born husbands of Nigerian women, but a Nigerian man's foreign-born wife gets automatic citizenship. It denies women the ability to take indigenship in their husband's state after 5 years of being together, and also denies 35% appointed positions for women. One of the very few men here says a discrimination against women is discrimination against all.
I believe that if men don't stand up for women's rights, they're not standing up for their wives, for their children, for their daughters, for their sisters, for their lovers. They're not standing up for the memory of the many women who fought for the Nigeria we have today.
It's been 37 years since Nigeria ratified the United Nations Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. But the fruit is still to be seen.
Let's bring in Dorothy Njemanze. She is a human rights activist, filmmaker, and the founder of the Dorothy Njemanze Foundation in Abuja. Dorothy, it's good to have you on the program. Now, women make up only about 6% of Nigeria's National Assembly. So should we really be surprised when gender bills get rejected in this manner?
Oh, well, we shouldn't be surprised. However, the surprise elements would come from the fact that when you get into the National Assembly, as either a senator or a member of the House of Representatives, there's an orientation that is done for people to remember that they are not there representing their political parties, but they are there in the interest of all Nigerians, irrespective of gender or political party affiliations or whatever else there is. So considering the fact that that orientation was done and the members of the National Assembly forgot that too soon and didn't think to give women, the basic rights that are enjoyed in other parts of the world, simply because we're women, that was very disappointing.
So do you think then that what we've seen here, the rejection of these bills, is a reflection of the attitudes of the people in the National Assembly, or does this reflect the wider attitudes towards women in the country?
Oh, so the National Assembly is a general reflection of what happens, everywhere in the country. However, considering the amount of resources that has been dedicated to ensuring that the people in the National Assembly function in line with world best practices, it's very disheartening that despite all the resources that have been, plowed into this, we still have a lot of retrogressive moves. The legal frameworks that we leaned on the National Assembly to help us bring to bear are very important. And this is so many steps backwards as far as I'm concerned. You know, it's reflective of what is in the society, the larger society, but considering the efforts that have been put in, that should have been a place where one would have expected a lot of progressive actions instead of retrogression.
Now, in the recent days, we've seen the House of Representatives acknowledge that there should be a review on 3 of those bills, specifically on citizenship, on one's indigenous status, and on affirmative action in political parties. Now, as someone who took part in the protests we saw in Abuja, do you take that as a victory?
No, I don't take it as a victory. A promise to reconsider doesn't translate to actual efforts, actual actions at reconsidering, right? So instead of seeing it as a step in the right direction, I see it as a finger pointed towards the direction that steps intend to be taken towards. I look forward to seeing actual steps taking those actions. And also, this is an opportunity to remind the the House of Reps that all the 5 demands from the women are important. Not only 3 out of the 5, would pacify the women. And the protest will definitely continue until all the 5 demands are met by the House of Reps.
And what do you think needs to change to make Nigeria more equal?
What needs to change to make Nigeria more equal is we need to have more legal frameworks. And that's what people are running away from. They ran away from giving us the Gender and Equal Opportunities Bill passed to become a law. And now we've gone to the ground norm of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is the Constitution. We need the language in the Constitution to change and reflect that there are he's as much as there are she's as much as there are he's in the Constitution. And we also need, these basic things that have been highlighted, which seem to be a huge battle for the National Assembly to come to terms with, to be in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to ensure equal rights and equal access to opportunities for men as there are for women in Nigeria.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there for now, but thank you very much, Dorothy Njemanze, speaking to us from Abuja.
Thank you very much.